Hey, so it's David here, the tinnitus coach. At least that's what they told me to call myself a couple of years ago, so I changed the name of the channel to that. So I try to make videos about tinnitus and ways to cope and different strategies to deal with the sound, the anxiety. I don't necessarily talk about cures to tinnitus on this channel, but I do hope that we'll find a cure one day. But in the meantime, I've found that it's really awesome how many people have gone from a place where they're in a really low spot. They feel like their life is hopeless, literally just so hopeless. And there's no way out, and they're so anxious, to a place where they're normal, maybe even better than normal, doing really good. So that's part of what I do here on this channel, is try to help some people go from that low point to a better place in their life, despite this sound that we can't seem to get to go away. I've got it right now, and it's just a high pitch kind of sound, and I can't make it go away. So today I just had a story about something that I did. Maybe I'm bragging a little bit, but I wanted to talk about how when we have anxiety about tinnitus, we get into a place where we're really thinking about what's going on with us, what's going on with this sound, what we can do about it, and we're very much in our own little world. So I wanted to invite you to think creatively about how you can bring your thoughts outside of your own little world and into something special that's outside of you. And the reason I brought up this topic today is I've decided to help someone who really needs help. And I'm thinking about helping them, and I'm not thinking about all the problems that I have in my own life, because we all have problems. But sometimes we get where we're just thinking about our own problems all the time, always complaining. The sound won't go away. And this is just one more strategy that you can use to try to get where you're not thinking about yourself, because there's a lot of people who need help besides you. And I have a feeling you're able to sit there and listen to me talking right now. You can walk around, I hope. You have lots of things that you can do where you're capable right now. Maybe you could put that to good use and do something to help someone else and not always be thinking about yourself. So what did I do? Okay, I met a Syrian lady online. She has been living in a camp, a refugee camp in Jordan for, I believe it's going on 13 years. It's at least 10 years. They had the terrible conflict in Syria, and so many people ran away because there was a war and people were dying. And there's some big camps. I think it's called the Zatari camp in Syria, Zatary. And this woman has 4 children. Her husband took the little money that they had and left the camp and hasn't been back. So she's stuck there by herself with trying to take care of 4 children. They get water about every 10 days. So whenever the water comes, they fill, it's like this big pipeline, and they fill all they have some tubs and buckets and things, everything with water. They wash clothes, they take a shower, and it's a wonderful day whenever the water comes, about every 10 days. They get about 3 hours of electricity per day, and that's it. And that gives them, if it happens to be in the middle of the day, they can get even some air conditioning, as I understand. No, they have fans, excuse me. So, they charge their phones. So you can imagine how difficult that would be to be in such a camp. There was a stabbing in the camp last week. I think there's about 25,000 people living there in this particular camp, and someone died from a stabbing. So it's a little scary there too. Well, I've been working for a marketing company, and one of the lower level roles is to hire people to make phone calls for potential leads and ask them if they're interested in maybe making an appointment to talk with an analyst, to look at their website or their business and how we could help. So she now has this job to get a list of leads and call a bunch of people. It's a little bit spammy, you know. But I mean, heck, she's in the freaking refugee camp. Come on. And she's going to get paid, I think, $5 or $6 an hour, which is actually competitive with what someone like in the Philippines, for example, would get paid for that type of work. And if she can work about 15 or 20 hours per week, in just a few months, she can leave the camp, get her own small apartment somewhere in the Middle East, probably in Jordan, and start to have a normal life outside the camp. How awesome is that, you know? So I've been putting some energy into helping her to be able to help her get started with this job, help her practice the calling so she knows what to say, and getting her set up with like a Skype phone number and just a lot of the details like that, Calendly, so she can schedule people. And she's starting to work, and she got her first payment. She's very happy. And isn't that great? You know, being able to say someone who's been in a refugee camp for 10 or more years, and maybe, just maybe, I was able to help her leave that camp and her 4 children. So I don't think that's the end of her challenge if she gets out of the camp, but it's, you know, it's a big step forward. So I'm feeling pretty excited about this, and I'm excited for her, you know, and her children. And I'm not thinking about my anxiety so much because I've got something else I'm doing, you know, that's interesting, that I spend a little time during the day thinking about. So, hey, by the way, if you have that type of business where maybe you need some local, you want to call some type of business in the area and ask them if they would like to be your B2B customer, and you could use someone to make some phone calls like that. All she has is her phone, right? You know, let me know. I probably could help you find some talent, right, from the refugee camp, and you could help them get more people out of the camp. Wouldn't that be great? So, just an idea. But that's my video for today. It's kind of a neat thing, and yeah, I hope you like my video too. So have a good day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.